25% increase everywhere.
Every basic ability, skill, and talent can be developed through hard work, good strategies, persistence, dedication, and input from others. Where focus goes, energy flows. So focus your energy on continuous learning and stop wasting time thinking about looking smart. Build resistance, build vulnerability, build courageousness, and face adversity with a smile. Become comfortable with uncomfortable. You know, the only person that you need to prove anything to is you. Imperfect action trumps perfect inaction. Stop wasting time and get on with it. Failure is part of learning, so start learning by taking action.
Good morning, Kristian Livolsi. We are back. It's Thursday.
Hi, Simone. How are you?
I am doing really well. It's actually nice and sunny here in Sydney, which is nice change from the rain that's been around. How is your week going so far?
Well, the weather here is terrible, but no, the week's going really well, and you know we're working on some really exciting stuff, and a lot of our clients are kicking goals right through to the end of the year, which is always really exciting.
It is. It definitely is. Now, today we have a really cool topic that we're talking about today. We are talking all about financial literacy, which is very, very cool.
It's funny how you think it's cool, but I love finance. So I'm not sure I think it's cool, but it's certainly the difference between winning and losing.
Yes.
It's one of the very key principles that most businesses do not adhere to. So yeah, it is an interesting topic.
It is. And in my prior life, I was actually in a lot of accounting and financial roles. So that's where I think it's kind of cool. But I get for a lot of people, it is that like, whether you're in denial or whether you just like to skim over things. So it's a really interesting topic. So I wanted to ask you for our first question today. What is your definition of financial literacy?
All right. Well, look, I think financial literacy is the ability to understand, but also use various financial skills, including, personal financial management, budgeting, investing. The lack of financial literacy or a lack of financial literacy can actually lead to numerous pitfalls. And this is what I see a lot. And some of these are, accumulating unsustainable debt burdens, both in business and in personal life, and either through poor spending decisions and other times from a lack of long-term preparation. And this in turn can lead to poor credit, bankruptcy, housing foreclosures, and other negative consequences. And I don't think people respect that because no one's teaching us that when we're at school. So I always look at it and say, well, there's a couple of key steps to attaining financial literacy. And, they include learning how to create a budget, as simple as that, track spending, pay off debt, and also plan for retirement. So many people in Australia, particularly because we have a superannuation guarantee, think that super guarantee is going to be enough for them to retire. Unfortunately, it's not. And unfortunately, in my opinion, it is not the obligation of the employer to make sure that someone's retirement hedge fund is dealt with. So the responsibility needs to fall back on us. And before time runs out, I want to just share with you 6 money principles that I have around financial literacy that I educate our clients on, and they are earn, save, invest, protect, spend, and borrow. And I think if you're able to capture all of those, and maybe Simone, we need to put that into an acronym of some kind. I've been thinking about it for years. But that and I teach my children this, and you start with one, earn and save and invest, and then you flow into protect, spend, and borrow. Yeah,
I love that. That's really cool. And I think it's it was fascinating to see that the poll that we did on LinkedIn last week, when we asked business owners, do you consider yourself financially literate when it comes to business decisions? An amazing 63% of people said that they could know more. That's a big number who
At
are
least
feeling
people,
like they could know more information about their businesses.
at least people were being honest, and hopefully they're watching the hot seat today. Then, because even just that little explanation around what financial literacy means to me, there was some real golden nuggets in there for people to use, particularly those 6 principles that I preach all the time. And financial literacy is simple. Accountants complicate it. Okay.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm having a crack at a lot of accountants, so I apologize to all my really good friends. But accountants, I think, for years have complicated what they do, so that's how they've built value. They've used fear, right? You don't need an accountant to teach you financial literacy. You could pretty much read, the Barefoot Investor and get at least some insight into not just investing, but financial literacy.
Yes. Yeah. That's great. And I think that's a great segue into our second question, which I wanted to ask you is, how often should you be looking at your financials? I already know the answer to this question from your perspective.
Well, I'm pretty sure most of our clients, especially the smaller ones that come to us in the Evolve program, they get this real sense of shock when I tell them about financials and monitoring. But firstly, I need to clarify which financials you should be looking at, because I'm not going to assume that all of our listeners understand the financial metrics that are available to them. But there are 3 financial statements, and that's the balance sheet, the profit and loss, and the cash flow. And these are what I would define the 3 primary financial statements that every entrepreneur and business owner, right, must know how to read and interpret. There's no blurriness here. If you don't know those things, you need to go and get educated. Now, the most important and the least utilized, and my favorite, is a cash flow statement, because there are so many advantages to a cash flow statement, and they are things like verifying your profitability, but also your liquidity position. Verifying capital, cash balance, as well as cash management, planning, and coordination. But it's also a superior tool over an accrual basis, right? So it's real time. So I review, to answer your question, then I review my balance sheet once a month along with my profit and loss statement. But I review my cash flow statement weekly, and I check my bank account, and this is the one that everyone, morning and night. And anyone that knows me,
I was going to say daily. Now it's morning and night as well.
It's morning and night. Well, you know that I like the sound of money, so I've got a lot of companies, and there's a lot of inflows and outflows, but it's the only notification, and you've seen me in meetings, the only thing that comes up on my phone. Bang, I won't mention the bank, but all of my accounts are with one bank, and as in all the inflows and outflow accounts, and it's just great to watch. And I see someone's paid you, someone's paid you, someone's paid you. And that really excites me and motivates me. Now, I've got to say, it wasn't always that way. It used to be, there's always money coming out. But when you learn good money habits, you quickly learn that what you want to see is more money in. Okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really it.
And this is a conversation we've had before as well. And what we share with our Evolve clients is that subscriptions have become like the new credit card, right? If you're not watching what's coming in and out of your account, sometimes you sign up for these 7-day free trials, and then all of a sudden you're suckered into paying monthly expenses that you may not need. So if you're not aware of what's coming in and out, it can quickly add up.
Well, I mean, let's use streaming services are a really good example of this. I don't want you to answer this question, because I don't want anyone to think any less of you, but or any more of you, either way, right? So, but the truth around this is, if you've got a young family, you've got Disney, Netflix, Stan, Binge, I mean, KO, Optus, like the list goes on. People used to complain that Foxtel was like $120. right? Like the platinum package. But now, no one even notices that they're actually spending way more than that, and they've got all these different streaming services. And at the end of the day, is there anything to actually watch? Like I look at my kids; they watch the same shit every single day, and I'm like, "Hey guys, how about you start watching?" I mean, they destroyed alpha blocks and numbers blocks because I was like, "That's all I'm letting you watch." And then you've got YouTube, and then you've got like it's. So what you got to remember is that all of a sudden people have forgotten, like a simple thing like that. Now imagine in a business like in a marketing agency, right, out of Melbourne. Some people don't even know that I own a marketing company in Melbourne for some 9 years. But we have subscriptions, and constantly I'm sitting with our finance department saying, "Hey, can we go and have a look at this?" And you know what? Every 3 months when we do an audit, we always find at least one or two subscriptions, and those kind of subscriptions are like $100, $200, $300 a month.
Yeah.
So if you let them slide, you're up for $4,000, $5,000. Now, I'm sorry, I don't know about anyone else. I don't care how much money you got, but even $1 is better in my pocket than in someone else's when I'm not utilizing that service to help me move forward.
Yes, absolutely. And we've got Karim watching us from Facebook, and he says that's so true. I've had a look at my account and seen so many direct debits to things I don't even use.
Amen. Let's get rid of them now, Karim. Let's start. Just get the apps, delete, unsubscribe, pay it out, goodbye. And you know what? The other thing, while we're on this, people also get caught out because they see this really great upfront discount to buy the whole year, and then they forget. And after, say, 6 months that you haven't used it, you forgot that you were subscribed. Now, these are auto subscriptions, which means the only time you find out that you are still subscribed is when you get this big $600 or $200 or $300 if it's home or business. And you're like, hang on a minute, what the hell is that? And it was an auto subscription that everyone forgot about and no one uses. And you can't break it. Once it's done, you read the T&Cs of fine art. So you've got to really be on top of that. And so be really careful. Even with gamification, right? FIFA and all these other games that our children are playing online. It's so easy to just buy. And the psychology that's behind it, the behavioral buying process is frightening. Anyway, you still have one more question to ask me, haven't you?
Yes, I do. And I totally know about that. Both of our sons do like playing a little bit of gaming. And I can tell you the arguments that happen over wanting just a few more Roblox or Robux or whatever they're called. I just, it's a good incentive to get them to do some chores, though. Get them working.
Yes. Does it work? Does it work on Gav?
No, not particularly. I'm still working on that one.
I wonder if he's listening. He's like, "What are you two talking about? Keep me out of your conversations."
He's probably gaming right now. It's his day off.
Oh, is it?
All right, Kristian, my last question for you is, what should business owners do that are wanting to upskill themselves in the area of finance? So what should you do? What should you be reading? Where can you go to learn more?
Well, I mean, firstly, start, right? Don't be scared. The fear around financial literacy is false. Okay. Just because no one taught you, you're not born with the skills of reading financial statements. Okay. You're not born with it. It's a skill you have to acquire. So I would actually not try and read up too much. I would actually get myself a cash flow template. Now, if you haven't got one, I'm happy. Here's a value bomb. I'm happy to share the base cash flow template that we give our clients. It's the stage 1 version. So anyone listening, if you just drop the hashtag cash flow in the comments, I'll send you a copy. One of the members of the team will send you a copy, whether it's via LinkedIn, Facebook, even Instagram. Anyone that's on YouTube, though, will need to get us an email address because I'm pretty sure we can't send it through that process. But absolutely happy to share that with you. It's something I developed for myself a long time ago, and it served me very, very well. It also has a whole bunch of tips on one or the other, and it's an Excel spreadsheet. So you can start inputting and making it work for you. But here's what you really need to do. You need to schedule time in your diary to actually review your financial statements. You will only get better at it by practicing. Okay. So turn on your banking notifications for inflows and outflows. That's absolutely an easy one. You can all do that right now. Grab your phones and do that, right? You can check your bank account each morning and at the end of the day. And that's going to give you, it's going to start creating this mindset around money. And this leads me to the point of you must fall in love with making money and loathe spending money. Now, you only should loathe spending money unless it's for growth or revenue producing expenses and assets. Okay. So what I'm alluding to, Simone, is that money is a mindset. And this is what people don't understand. So you need to build a muscle around money. And that is the more you train that muscle to keep, the more you'll actually retain and save. And it's that simple. And I just want to remind everyone, because I know we're out of time, but I want to remind people of those 6 principles that I mentioned earlier. So earn, save, invest, protect, spend, and also borrow. But yes, the first instant reaction is to tell someone to go somewhere else to learn. Mine isn't. Mine is to say, just get started. I mean, YouTube is the greatest how-to of anything. So I'm pretty sure that if you Googled, and maybe we need to create a YouTube video that says how to read a cash flow statement. I'm pretty sure I've just given this away. But I'm sure it's already out there. But even if you just started with that, how to read a cash flow statement, how to read a P&L. Now, you can go to your accountant, and I can guarantee you that you're probably going to struggle. Most accountants can't actually explain it. And I find it, because it's so wishy-washy in the explanation. Again, I'm not picking on accountants. I'm not picking on my friends. but these types of people are really good at putting the numbers together, are really great at tax. But when it comes to sitting down and, in layman's terms, breaking it down, it's really hard. So my thing would be go and find someone who you admire in business that you know, who's happy to walk you through. Print out your statements, the 3 statements, and go and show someone and say, can you walk me through what these mean? No one's going to say, hey, stupid. No. Right? Now, obviously, I do that with our clients. I walk through their financial statements with them. And it's one of the things that we try and do. But ultimately, that is the big thing that I want to see people do. Start trying and then just ask questions.
Yes.
And remember, if you want our cash flow template, just drop hashtag cash flow. I know that Andrew already has, because I could see that popped up. But if anyone's watching the replay of this, just put hashtag cash flow replay. So I even know that you listen to this later. Look at me go. I'm not even ever into these hashtags. But I was up pretty late last night watching a whole bunch of stuff. And, these guys, all these people
flowing.
chomping at the heels on tag here, hashtag here. I'm like, so right now I'm like, well, I want to give you something that's going to help you. And maybe, Simone, we do need to do a couple of how-to videos. I mean, we do it internally in our vault for Evolve members, but we don't do it out. I can't give everything away for free because I love making money. So I hope that answers your question.
It definitely does. Kristian Livolsi, thank you so much for your time and sharing your insights with us. These polls that we put up on LinkedIn, we really appreciate all of our viewers for participating in them, because it really does help us generate the conversation around things that will help you and what is making a difference in your day and your week. So, Kristian, I appreciate your time. Now, before you run off, I did just want to have a quick chat to you about our Sydney event that is coming up. We are running a 1-day, full-day marketing for growth workshop, and we are all so excited about this.
Before we talk about it, I know Karim's online. Hopefully he's still there. Karim, congratulations and a big shout out for you for graduating your MBA. I'm really excited to see you. I haven't seen you since you went and got a tan and went on holidays with your family. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in the mastermind on the 11th. But mate, congratulations! Having done an MBA and being an adjunct professor at university, I know how much work is involved, and particularly with a young family and your workflow. So just a big shout out to you, mate. I'm really proud of you. Congratulations. Sorry, Simone, back to, I just remembered, and I thought, I haven't had a chance to speak to Karim. I just wanted to let him know how proud I am of the work that he's done.
Karim. He is a fantastic business coach, and he is in our Evolve program, and he's a very valued member. So congratulations, Karim. And Karim will be with us live in Sydney. He's already booked his tickets. I spoke to him the other day about that. So I am pumped that he'll be flying up from Melbourne to be with us in Sydney on the 10th. So this is kind of a special deal, right? We normally don't open up our events to the public. This is normally a closed event for our internal clients, but we're opening up just our Saturday. So we go over the whole weekend, but just for Saturday, there's an opportunity for people to come and join us to talk all about marketing.
Yes, it's going to be an absolute cracker. I mean, look, if you are in Sydney or wherever you are in Australia, I don't do many live events. So unless I'm doing keynotes, we generally do everything in a closed group. But you, my team, my talent, and our Evolve members all thought it'd be really good. In Adrian's word, everyone needs a Kristian in their life. And so we thought, well, why not? We're going to be there anyway. And you know, we've chosen marketing as the theme. And when I put the content together, I looked at some of the challenges some of our members were having, and I thought it's time to scale them up. It's time to set them up for growth. And you know, and a lot of our members are at different parts of their business cycle, right? Some are startups, some are very established 7-figure businesses. But I really wanted to bring that together. And I'm really excited because one of my best friends, Mao Chia, is going to be presenting the first plenary session on why strategy is important. And Mao is the former head of marketing at Uber and Uber Eats. He was the launch manager for Uber Eats in Australia. And he was also the CMO at Riderwear, where he took Riderwear from, you know, essentially 7 figures to 8 figures. And I mean it quite big.
I connected some of my cash flow to Riderwear. I told Mal I'm a big fan of Riderwear. I love it.
But he's just apart from being an amazing human being, I'm blessed to call him one of my best friends. And you know, he was at my Buck show in Bali. So when I say best mates, I'm talking my inner circle. And he's actually going to be live in Sydney joining us. We've got Bonnie Louise from Media Sociale, the company that I own in Melbourne. It's a global ad agency specializing in online. So she's going to be talking about the execution side and teaching people how to set up the campaigns that we use. You know, I'm going to show you the campaign I use on Facebook to generate 300 leads a month, right? For less than $500 in ad spend. Like, it's worth buying the ticket just for that. But you know me better than anybody else. The execution side is the least of my concern. It's the brains. So what I realize is that so many people don't understand the importance of the strategy. Hence why I wanted Mao there, right? If you don't want to listen to me, listen to someone who's currently working on some mega brands, right? And because he's now fully independent, works for himself with a couple of guys in Sydney and Melbourne. And they've got mega accounts. Like, I think they're dropping like $1 million a month on ads. So big, and they're crazy revenues. But we're going to teach people how to uncover their absolute dream client, right? And really narrow the focus, no matter how well. You know, which customer desire do you appeal to? You know, there are 3 of them. You'll have to come to the event to find out what they are. And I think
this is what a lot of us do in small business, right? We jump straight, like you said, to the execution. We're so quick to turn on a Facebook ad or something like that without the strategy behind it. And then we get so frustrated that we feel like we've wasted our money. We haven't got the leads that we thought we wanted, but we don't really understand what we're missing in the process.
Correct. And on top of that, we're going to then show people how to write content. Now, anyone that follows me on LinkedIn knows my engagement is 500-600 on every post, right? You know, I think we got a notification that I've been listed in the top 15 coaches in Adelaide. And out of everyone, they were like, you have to follow his content. Like, it's amazing. And and I'm really blessed by that. But we're going to show people how to write content like that on demand, but then also how to use it in our proprietary scheduling tool so that you can have anyone in your team check it off, whether you're a solopreneur or whether you've got an entire marketing team. I mean, we've got one of our Evolve members is bringing her marketing department.
Yeah.
Right? So it's so what I'm trying to highlight here is this is not just some bullshit gimmick where I'm going to try and upsell you something. I couldn't give a shit if you never even come to another one of my events. I want you to come there so that you can actually walk out the door, get 100% of your ROI within 7 days. And by doing that, we're also going to show you how to build your first lead magnet, and you're going to build it because I'm not going to let you walk out until you finish.
I know you even told us as a team that dinner will not happen until everyone has finished their lead magnets in the event. So
that's right. And I think we're also opening up the dinner. Are we? I don't know if we are. Were we opening up the dinner to anyone that attends as well?
I think so. If they want to come along, that'd be great for them to hang out with us.
I mean, so one of the benefits our members get is that that's where they get to hang out with me, and I love it because as you know, I don't actually think I'm that important. So, but the good thing is I get to hang out with the people that allow me and afford me the privileged life that I have, and I don't take that for granted. You know, I mean, and I'll be honest with you, I am so excited, and I don't care whether we present to 20 or to 60. I think the room capacity might be 80 by memory, and we did that by choice. Because I want to be able to get to everybody in the room, and I want to make sure that it's not about networking; it's about learning, and it's about really getting deep, like knees deep into the ground. And I'm really passionate about it. And again, I just want people to succeed because, as I said to the team yesterday, if a person attending wins, we win. And everybody knows, for me, it's all about a win-win. It's not about cutting up the pie. It's about how do we grow the pie? How do we grow the tribe, right? And ultimately, it's just by giving it all away. Giving it all away, but then making people actually implement it there and then. Because isn't there nothing worse? You spend all this money, you go to an event, they teach you all this great stuff. You walk out the door, back to your kids, back to your husband, back to your life, and you forget. Yeah. Well, no, this is not one of those gigs. You're going to come, you're going to do it, you're going to build it, you're going to implement it, and then you're going to take action. And let's just say by any chance that all you've got is the money for the ticket to attend, the final plenary session is going to be delivered by my dear friend and business partner, Adrian Lee from GrowthLink, and we're going to show you a free lead generation mechanism that will generate you 10 to 20 leads a month without any ad spend. So
that's so cool.
Bye-bye. Like it's a drop the mic thing. Like if you don't come and you need to understand marketing, then what's the pain of not attending? What's the sacrifice? And if anyone's thinking, well, how much is this thing going to cost me? Well, it should cost you a lot more than the $1,100 per person because it's also a fully catered event. I don't let anyone go hungry. You see me in real life. I like food and I like to consume it. So I don't, because why? I want to be able to feed you so you can't go out the door. Right? Like I want to keep you there. I want to keep you working. I want to caffeinate you, decaffeinate you, whatever you want. But yes, $1,100. But guess what? Guess what? We have got a special code for anyone. Right? I don't think we've got one set up for the hot seat, but we are able to give someone a 50% for a very limited time because it's an early bird. We're prepared to give someone a 50% discount code, and I'm going to give you even 48 hours to think about it. Even though anyone listening to this should have absolutely zero hesitation, I'll make it even better for you. And my team thought I was crazy. I'll give you back 100% of your money if you don't love it by the end of the day. By the end of the day, if you are not loving it, and there's not going to be any of this high five shit and fucking DJ. I just realized I swore. Beep. Right? There's not going to be any DJs. There's not going to be any lighting rigs. None of that. This is about coming in, learning, and doing the work,
Yeah.
right? And getting outcomes. But I'm also going to back it with 100% money back guarantee. So come eat all the food, be entertained, take the workbook with you, take all the IP with you, and tell me you didn't like it. Right? Tell me you didn't see value in it, not one piece of value. I didn't deliver on the promises that I've listed, and I'll give you back your money.
Yeah.
Right? Now,
that's so great. And, you know, marketing is one of those areas where we all feel a bit jaded. I can tell you, I've spent endless amount of money on marketing courses and different things that promised to get me an outcome, and I didn't quite get there. So we understand that this is an area where people are feeling a bit skeptical, and that's why we have introduced so much certainty to people that we know that we can 100% deliver a fantastic day.
It's going to be great fun next. I've got to run because I've got board members flying in from Melbourne and Sydney for one of the companies that I'm chairman of, and we've got a 8-hour strategy session about to start before we head out for an awesome dinner. But yeah, again, I'm really pumped that I get given this opportunity. I'm glad that, you know, Simone, you and the team and our Evolve members nudged me enough to say, hey, come on, Kristian, let's do this. Let's really elevate not just ourselves, other people. Other people need to have an opportunity. So, you know, it's all there. The golden nuggets. I can't believe you got me to stay on the call for another 10 minutes. Sounds like a bloody advertorial infomercial. But
we're so excited about it. We are.
I'm pumped. And honestly, if you're in Sydney, it's a no-brainer. If you have to travel, yes, it's a little bit more of a cost, but ultimately, you know, I'm traveling too, and I promise you, I'll give you everything I have, all the energy and vitality and commitment and knowledge. But it's not just about what I've got to give you. There are 3 absolutely talented, brilliant people that are experts in their field that are going to be joining me, and you know, they're not household names, okay? Right? They're actually doers. All right. So, you know, these are people that actually do the work and get the results. And I am so blessed that they have made themselves available for our Evolve members and anyone else who wants to come. Simone, I do have to go. I'm sorry. And it's me that doesn't stop talking.
Thank you so much for your time. I know you're so passionate about this and giving so much value. We will drop the link into the comments across our social platforms. But if you want any more information or if you want to have a chat, please feel free to DM me and I will jump on a call with you. So Kristian, have a wonderful day with your strategy, with all of your Lift clients. And we look forward to seeing you next week, next Thursday at 11:45 Sydney time on the hot seat.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you later.